Greetings and welcome to episode 281 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly news and culture discussion podcast for words about games. I'm your host, Amy K. Alexander, and I'm joined this week by hopefully a re-energized Daffy Moody. He was very tired last week.
I was very tired last week, but ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. I'm swinging it all in there because we have a brand new AEW World Heavyweight Champion, the sexiest man on the planet, Hangman Adam Page. I'll give it 3 cheers to him. Hip hip hooray, and a hip hip motherfucking away. It's Monday. You know what that means. It's time for some sexy time and some news time. And Amy, we're not alone.
I know, right?
You did ask me this question. Do I know anyone other than a Joseph? I know a Joe. He has the force because he's Mr. Joe Medforce. How are you doing, sir?
I am fantastic. Thank you for having me on. Seriously, I love video games. I'm a gamer, and I enjoy dissecting and discussing news about everything we enjoy about video games, and having a lot of fun doing so. And already, despite the fact that I tend to steamroll anything anyone lets me on, you guys are gonna keep me reined in and make sure that I don't try and take over. We're gonna chill out and chat about some games, video games. It's gonna be great.
What if Moody, sidebar. What if we let him take over? Like,
I don't mind this.
Permanently.
I don't mind this. Yeah, I don't mind this at all.
Yeah, I like that. Should we go? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get back to it. Yeah. Okay. It's nice to meet you, Joe, because I've never actually met you before.
No, it's a pleasure to meet you too, Amy. Seriously. This is a question. Would you like me to tell the people, if they haven't met me, what I'm about, or do we save that for later?
I think that'd be a great idea. Let's do that right now.
All right. So, yeah, my name is Joe, and it's Joe Medforce on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, and youtube.com/Joe Medforce. The Medforce is about bringing you ridiculous positive passion everywhere I am on the internet. And if you want to be part of that, then all you have to do is find me and look me up. You might find me singing ABBA, dressed as a Waluigi vampire. That's what I did for Halloween. That's why I've still got my decorations up. We do Halloween till Christmas here. And it's a part-time stream working towards a full-time dream. And it's a dream come true to be collaborating with wonderful people like Daffyd and Amy as well. It's an honor. Thank you again for having me.
Thanks for coming. I keep saying we need to get more guests. I think I'm just going to let Moody book them all from now on.
She's told me to find another person without J in the name, so that's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
But okay.
It's not that I've got anything against Joe's. It's just if you happen to know anybody not called Joe,
okay. If it's the letter J that's a problem, then you can just call me Medforce. That's fine if you prefer. Or you can because my middle name. I had someone say this to me today, and I was like, you know what? He's in hibernation. No one knows what he's doing. Hopefully he's not problematic. I mean, maybe he is a bit. You never know, do you? But I was like, my middle name's T, and they were like JT. I was like, ooh, I kind of like that. I like to rock your body, Senorita, I feel for you. Yeah, I will try not to sing too much, so we
don't worry about it.
The MCA copyright strikes. But yeah, so yeah, call me by whatever name you bloody well want.
Okay, we have to think of
interesting.
Now.
Do we need another sidebar?
I'll leave you to it. Hold on. I'll leave you to it. I'm not here. I'm not listening in. Yep. Okay,
We're good. Come back. So, how's everybody? Like, normally I start off the banter, and you can see in the show notes it actually says banter. Like, how's everybody's week been?
My week's been all right. Yeah, I mean, cracking on. had a cracking time last night playing Among Us. The new update is bonkers. I know you didn't have a fun time, yeah, but it is a bonkers new update, and it's really fun to play. Phasmophobia is as crazy and evil and maniacal as ever, especially if you play it on nightmare mode. It's just psychotic.
Thanks for that, mate.
Yeah, I did it just for the heck of it, and it destroyed us. Both you and me in the same level at the same time. It was really funny. Just snapped my neck and just went, "Oh, there's another person there. Hello."
We fell for it, Joe. The thing is, we fell for it, right? We found a Ouija board, and we were like, "Oh, let's ask it where it is," and it said living room. And me and Mooney went, "Let's go to the living room." And like, I imagine the ghost was in the living room going, "Fucking idiots are actually coming to the living room." And then we died.
Oh my
horrible,
god!
horrible deaths.
I am genuinely like this is obviously part of Halloween shtick behind me, but I love that horror vibe. I think my favorite still has to have been from playing. Oh gosh, no! I'm trying to think of. There's another instead of Among Us. There's like another like. Sort of like multiplayer game. To be honest, Among Us does it, and I really need to check out the new update and see if it holds me back in. You know what I mean? Because I had a lot of fun with that when it was huge last year, when everyone was giving it a go. So yeah, the murder mystery is always good fun.
Some might say that a group of us play it every Saturday at 8:30, Joe. So if you are more than bloody welcome to come and join us, man.
Yeah.
When I'm not doing our Medforce movie nights in our Discord, where we're currently rewatching the Spider-Man films, and we're about to watch, and actually if this airs on Monday, then you can always jump into the Discord. We're going to be watching Spider-Man 2 at 8 p.m. and then you can duck out after the first half an hour. The moment Peter Parker says pizza time, you go and play some Among Us with Daffyd and Amy and have some fun.
I really like this guy.
Very good. I brought a good one.
You did, yeah. You're on a roll with bringing people. I just bring my amazing plushies. It's fine.
Oh, my plushies are in a drawer because I wanted my room to look somewhat presentable. But as you can see, that went out the window, didn't it? Look at this nonsense.
I wanted my room to look like a kid just threw their toys everywhere.
Oh, to be fair, that's exactly how mine's going to end up looking when this is finished. I just moved into a new place not long ago. So, yeah, it's still a work in progress, just as I am as a person. How was your weekend and week, Amy?
Oh, like my weekend was, well, Mooney described half of it. And then I spent all day watching Avatar in bed. Because that's what I did today.
The final windbender. That's it, right?
The final windbender. That's the one. That's exactly it. Yeah.
I just heard the voices of 1,000 anime fans cry out in terror because I need to get into. I think actually Avatar, I've heard so many great things about. It's like Avatar and Cowboy Bebop seem like good ins for watching anime. And I know there's the live action series of Cowboy Bebop happening, which people are of course up in arms about because they don't like change or humans. But it's is it a rewatch for you?
No, it's the first time. Moody, I think, managed to convince me to finally sit down and watch it. I have a long and tortured and complicated history with anime, which I was describing to Moody before we started recording. It's too long to go into now, but it's very. No. One day I'll tell the story because it's really weird and fascinating.
Mine starts and ends with I was like, oh, The Matrix was inspired by Akira. Yeah, let's watch Akira. That's gonna be. Oh, this is really fucked up. And it's just like that. And then if you go the other direction and you sort of like, ease yourself in with some Hayao Miyazaki, the films, it's like Spirited Away, no spoilers, but you're sitting there just like, I've never seen anything like this. Disney distributed this in the West and they had no idea what they were doing. This was before they had Marvel or Star Wars, and they were just like, sure, we can't make animated features worth a damn at the moment, so take it, turn her parents into pigs.
What you're saying is spot on, because that was the dying period for Disney, so before Bob Iger took over. So yeah,
exactly, yeah,
it really was.
Before they bought Marvel. Did they buy
Yes.
Yeah, they bought the
Star Wars
Pixar,
acquisition.
Marvel, Star Wars.
Yeah, literally in that order.
Fox at the end. Yeah.
It's hard to keep track of all these companies buying everybody.
I know it's hard to. I know, yeah. You just think like, oh yeah, no, it's just another one under the largest monopoly man hat that could possibly exist. Which just sort of like forgive the sounds of clattering, but it's sort of like we will own everything. And he doesn't actually have a monocle. That's like a Mandela effect thing. He just got like either glasses and a big mustache, but it's a whole deal.
But now it's just Microsoft buying everyone, so it's all right.
You know what? Yeah, Microsoft making their moves. They're trying their best, aren't they? They're trying their best.
Well, we used to say they didn't have studios.
If we can't make a 10 out of 10 game, we will buy a 10 out of 10 game instead.
Holy crap! And then the Monopoly man doesn't have a monocle.
Oh no!
Mandela effect. Like I said, he doesn't have one, but in your mind's eye, he does. Our minds play tricks on us. It's Berenstein Bears versus Berenstein. It's the whole thing. And very briefly, because I've rambled between, I'll just say that I've had a lovely. Well, no, I had a crap week because I had to go back to work after being sick. And when it's like you're on the mend, my throat was like, no, you need to stay in bed. And then the conversations I had with my managers about the amount of time I'd spent trying to get better was like, yeah, I should have just stayed in bed and never gone back. But apart from that, I got back into streaming after 11 days of vocal rest on Friday, and just played some Fall Guys, got a crown right out the gate, having a great time with basically maintaining my title as the King of Fall Guys. Just search that.
King of Fall Guys, definitely, I believe it.
Exactly. And also got to you talking about toys, I'm just sort of like, yeah, let me unbox my Metroid Dread amiibo and make all the collectors mad while I, pretend. And it's just like, yeah, I could lick this Emmy if I wanted to, but I'm not going to unless you really want to make them crazy.
Want toys?
Yes, it's all about it. It's all about,
Backador from My Hero Backador.
Where does he get these wonderful toys?
I'll tell you what, though, there is no better feeling than getting a crown in Fall Guys. It's hard to beat.
It is so hard to beat, and that's why I make sure that people know when it happens. And I've got to, and I swear to God, I'll stop segueing into really, really shameless self promos.
It's fine
when we move on.
It's fine. I was just going to segue that into a burn on Moody. Would you agree with that? That's statement, Moody.
But I got a crown with Joe Medforce, actually, Amy. I told you about this.
Did you? Damn.
Yeah.
Didn't happen on my stream. Doesn't count.
It happened on his stream to a coward.
Video, it's literally just going to turn into like, all right, let's find that clip now.
That's fine by me.
The funny thing is, like, how Amy got her first crown was by betraying me.
To be fair, there's always a betrayal. There's always support in terms of sometimes, especially when we didn't used to have the squad shows, it was every bean for themselves.
He's not wrong.
No. There's always a little bit of bean blood splattered upon that crown. Sadly,
I don't think me and Moody need an excuse some days to just start a rivalry over something.
Yeah, but no, much fun has been had, it seems, by all, which is always good over a weekend.
That is always good. We should start the podcast at some point, I guess.
Yes, let's get into the gaming news.
One day I'm just gonna not. I'm just gonna keep the banter going for 2 hours and then go, well, that was it.
There was nothing to talk about, so we just went on with it.
I've got to read the thing now. Every Monday at 8 p.m, we sit down to talk about what's going on around the games industry. Sometimes we review some games. We tell you about what's coming out this week, and we try to guess review scores in OpenCritic head to head. You can get the video podcast on youtube.com/wordsaboutgamesuk or the audio version on a variety of platforms, including Anchor, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and a few that I've never even heard of. There's timestamps in the description wherever you get your podcast, so you can watch this podcast however you want, in any order that you want. And if you want to hang out while we play some games, you can go to twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. This week's streams at 12 p.m. on Tuesday, I'll be playing more Lost Judgment. That's simultaneously one of the darkest and wackiest games I've played, both at the same time. On Wednesday at 9:30 p.m., we'll be getting some people together to play a little bit of Phasmophobia, just a little bit. Nice little short late at night stream. On Thursday at 7 p.m., me and Moody are going to be checking out Forza Horizon 5. Moody's going to be on his brand new shiny Xbox Series X Master Chief Special Edition that I'm not jealous of at all. And on Saturday at 8:30 p.m., we'll be playing Among Us, and maybe some other multiplayer shenanigans will occur.
Oh yeah. I got my email saying
I hate you so much.
On the way.
I hate you so much. You don't even like Halo. I hate you so much right now.
No, if he doesn't like Halo, that makes me mad because I love Halo. Even though I have never personally owned an Xbox until last year, I just played it co-op with people and always had a blast. And also, just so you know, all the cool people now follow twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames because I just rectified the biggest mistake of my life, which is the fact that I wasn't following them. So what are you doing? Twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. Get on that.
I can actually see that in Streamlabs OBS. Joe Medforce has followed a few seconds ago. I don't know if did it play. I hope it didn't play an alert on the pod.
It didn't. You're good. I don't think I heard it on my end, and I think we would have through the OBS.
Yeah, I might be a little bit too liberal with my use of copyrighted music and sounds on Twitch.
All of my alerts are snippets of Prince songs. One day, the estate of the Purple One and or Warner Brothers, because they still own some of him, is gonna come for me. Until that day, I will make it purple rain.
Oh, damn right. Like, yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm just going to keep doing this until Twitch comes down on me like Thor's hammer.
When you're not like approaching partner status, it's kind of the Wild West. I think you're pretty good.
Yeah, I don't think they can find me, so it's fine.
If as long as you don't let it get to 3 copyright strikes, I've never even had one. You just have it muted, and then you can delete that VOD or cut. People know what it is. People get it.
I know what I'm doing. That's what I like to tell myself.
Let's
get in the news. The Game Awards 2021 will actually focus on games and not celebrities. This is from Rhiannon Bevan over at The Gamer, who writes, The Game Awards 2020 was full of celebrity cameos from Gal Gadot, Brie Larson, Tom Holland, and more. This was likely facilitated by it being digital, so Jeff Keighley didn't have to fork over thousands to arrange travel. However, that probably won't be the case this year, as Keighley suggests in an interview that the focus is shifting. In an interview with Epic Games, the founder and host said that focusing on the actual games this year is important, especially as there are so many to get through in comparison to the 2020 show. Keighley said, quote, it's great to have celebrities, it's great to have music, but I think focusing really on games is important. What we learned last year was at the end of the day, it really is the games and the trailers that drive the show, end quote. While he didn't say it outright, it's possible that fan feedback wasn't overly positive about the celebrity inclusions. In fairness, some of them did have gaming links. Tom Holland is playing Nathan Drake, and Brie Larson is a notorious Animal Crossing enthusiast, and the perfect actor to play Samus. I never thought about that before. Nonetheless, there are a whole bunch of announcements to get through this year, and it looks like that will be taking priority over any big spectacles. According to the interview, we can expect anything within the range of 40 to 50 games to feature at the show. Of these games, at least 10 of them will be brand new announcements. This interview gave us a few other little tidbits of information, giving us an idea of what we can expect from the Game Awards this year. For example, Keighley is interested in metaverse integration, particularly through Fortnite. He is not doing anything with NFTs. So that's at least one area in the gaming world where we'll be safe from those ugly little polluters. The Game Awards 2021 kicks off Thursday, December 9th. Not long now. Who wants to go first? I'm not going to be that host that's like, "Who you go, just free for all."
I'm happy to go, but David, you can also go first. Whatever you feel good, sir.
The force is strong with you, Joe. Go with it, mate.
Okay, well, I'm just going to get this out of the way because I'm going to absolutely eat it on OpenCritic predictions because I'm really bad with numbers.
me about
But
OpenCritic.
metaverse integration, focusing on games, not celebrities. You know what that says to me? The Chic Hydro Man is
Oh, no.
returning, and he's gonna be the next big skin in Fortnite. That's right, Chic, aka Gillette, the best a man can get, as we call it here in the UK. He will be forking and knifing with the best of them. Thanos, Captain America, Fabio Sparkle, man, eat your heart out. Chic Hydro Man, let's freaking go. But absolute speculation and things that won't actually happen aside.
I hope not. I
This,
still have nightmares about the Chic Hydro bot.
yeah, this is great news. If it actually does pull off, because I think that Jeff Keighley has forever been trying, and last year it would have skewed a bit because he would have been given these opportunities that he didn't have before through the digital event nature of it. But and it's the same with a lot of press conferences and shows. Nintendo Directs didn't. Nintendo Direct turned 10 years old recently, just in these past couple of weeks, I think, and those did not start out, the way we know them now, where it's like they usually deliver on hype. It's hit and miss with a PlayStation showcase, and I think, and it's always been the same with the Game Awards for every, really pure and amazing natural moment. Like I remember watching live when Sonic Fox accepted the best esports player of the year award, I believe it was in 2019, I think, or 2018, because it was the year Smash Ultimate came out, and it was just like so you can't write it, you can't make it up. And if you have to fill the space with commercials or celebrity tie-ins whereby they're promoting their new movie and that's helping to pay for the show, or whatever it is, then and that's not always the case. Sometimes it is a genuine connection. Sometimes you, of course, get another great moment like Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez coming up to present an award, and Michelle Rodriguez reminiscing about Tekken fighter games that she played on PlayStation.
She really loved those Tekken fighter games.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be interested to see what shape the Game Awards takes this year, and more importantly, I just hope we actually get more recognition, not just about the Joseph Fares and obviously he's not going to be presenting or really accepting any awards for anything this year, Cory Barlog, but these big names, the Hideo Kojimas, we love it when they get recognized, especially after what happened to him in terms of his relationship with Konami. But it should be about the people who make the games. Though they're the celebrities, they're the people we really, they're the unsung heroes. The names in the credits. Greg Miller, when he went up to accept Trending Gamer Award 2015, I believe it was, talked about a graphic artist in the credits of the Tomb Raider game he'd just completed, and it's like, yeah, he just picked that name at random because he decided if he was going to win the award, he wanted to give them recognition because it's like that's the reason he's there.
Yeah.
And that exactly, that's the reason we're all here talking about games and the Game Awards. Exactly, yeah, because people make those games and they work so damn hard at it.
Hell yeah, Moody, you've had some things to say about the Game Awards and celebrity cameos in the past.
But Jeff Keighley's had to learn the same lesson twice, because he had this lesson, I think the 2014 or 2013 Game Awards they had, which was basically got completely bashed. And he was basically, I think it was 2013, because I think he kind of rectified it for 2014. And obviously I remember 2015 with Greg Miller and everything like that. But like, it got completely trashed because he brought on a ton of random terrible celebrities to do awards, and they just you could see they didn't even want to be there or anything like that. And they basically took they basically just took the mick out of video games and everything like that. So he's had to take but I also understand last year was obviously the whole crap of the pandemic and everything like that everyone had to change things and do things differently. I can appreciate to a certain point when it comes to the why he did a little bit last year. But yeah, like, we don't want celebrities there at all, really. We don't want them touching the video games. If they're part of it, like Norman Reedus was, like when he was there one time, yeah, he's part of a video game. That's perfectly fine. If you're part of a freaking movie about a video game, no offense, Tom Holland. As much as I love you, Tom Holland, especially as Spider-Man, and I look forward to seeing your movie in December. I don't give a flying hoot if you're there, and I really don't want you to be there. Same goes for Gal Gadot, and then even though as much as I love myself some Brie Larson, who's like nerdiest, sexiest woman in the planet, apart from my beautiful partner, the second.
I will fight for Captain Marvel every day.
Like, I thought your enthusiasm for what was it? Animal Crossing.
She made a bunch of YouTube videos last year while we were all locked down.
She has a YouTube channel and everything.
Yeah.
She's nerded out and everything.
And she just actually released an Instagram video, which was a paid for ad, as far as I'm aware, for the Nintendo Switch OLED model, and her playing Metroid Dread. And it's because she has been likened to Samus so much, and she genuinely is a fan of that series. And it's but this is the thing, that's the place for that. The Game Awards is not.
Yeah.
If Metroid Dread gets nominated and wins awards, then you know what? Maybe have Brie Larson phone in from the set of Captain Marvel 2 and present the award to Mercury Steam. That's fine, but that's it. And then she can just, she can literally just, rather than have to be a promotional thing or feel out of place. I think that's what you're saying, right, Daffod?
Yeah, like celebrities just like that one, like what you brought up, Joe, like with the Vin Diesel and everything like that. They stood out like a sack of shit. It was the end
of the show as well. It was just
it was the end of the show. Everyone was thinking this was going to be something really a big reveal, and it was for a game that then completely bombed and got critically panned with the and everything. And then you just like, oh, as much as Vin Diesel, I love you to bits, mate, but go away.
No, I think really it's but again, that's a fine line. It's like the idea of a Fast and Furious game coming out, I was actually really excited for. But that's also just me and loving to sort of laugh along with that series, right? And laugh along at that happening. But it's not going to be to everyone's taste and flavor. Whereas I think we can all get behind putting the recognition for the games first and foremost, which is not always what's been the case, right?
Oh yeah, go on.
Don't go, Amy. You haven't spit one.
I've spoken. I've given witty little one-liners while everybody else has been talking. That's my thing.
That's your thing.
No, I like the there's a lot of stuff like that the Game Awards does that I just find cringe. Part of it might just be because we have to watch it at like 3:00 in the morning. So like my tolerance for bullshit becomes lower when I'm staying awake to watch a thing. But like
cut it in half runtime wise.
Yeah, definitely.
Like just trim the fat. Like if you have to have adverts, then you basically you run them. Or integrations for whatever, and it's the way they do. They just need to say, and this world premiere is brought to you by Sprint Mobile, or whatever it is, and then it's just like that, and then. We live in a digital age. Everyone's watching this online. Yeah, there's people who are doing it, watching it in a theater live this year, if that's happening. They can have a thing on their phones if they want it to tap and then go get the Sprint deal, and then you can like Twitch integrations, right? The same way you get the Fortnite drop by watching the Game Awards, you do that for the exclusive promotional offer with whoever their big sponsor is for the year. It's like it doesn't actually have to be actively intrusive and double the length of this show, which, as you say, is happening at 8 p.m. Or 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. Pacific time, and it's like I stayed up playing Smash Bros Ultimate on my like Switch while that was happening. But even by a certain point, I was flagging, and
Oh, definitely.
I needed something like, sort of vibrant, like Sonic Fox's acceptance
Yeah,
speech to
right.
sort
Like,
of
but
shock me back in.
those are the cool things you always remember, right? Like my Twitter thread on the Game Awards always becomes more and more unhinged as it goes on. Not necessarily because of the awards, but because of the time. But like, yeah, it's like the things that stick out like a beacon, like are cool. Like where it's like musical guest is the same thing, where it's like it was cool when they did the Doom Eternal and not the Doom soundtrack live at the
Mick
show.
Gordon, yeah, like
Yeah,
that is absolutely legit. That reminds me of like Video Games Live, that
yeah,
concert series they did. And like Tommy Tallarico is an absolute madman, but it's like he put that together as a celebration of video game music.
and that's
Like, you know
awesome.
what? If you're gonna drop a new trailer for God of War Ragnarok, if that happens, do what you did at E3 and like
Such a good.
you'll bring in those chants, like, cut to the Gregorian choir and make it Joseph Fares was right when he said, you know what, we could fuck the Oscars, we really could, because we know how to bring the hype and to bring the energy better than Hollywood does a lot of the time making trailers for themselves, So just actually lean in and, have fun with it and don't
Don't
get
boo
bogged
Green
down.
Day because who the fuck wants to see Green? Like I love Green Day. I don't want to see Green Day at the Game Awards. What do they have to do with it?
Guitar Hero Green Day or rock band Green Day came out like a decade ago. We're done. We're bloody done. Like, you know what? Billy Joe Armstrong didn't want to be there, and I don't want him to be there if he doesn't want to.
So I
Absolutely.
agree with like if you want, for me, the thing that always holds the Game Awards back is partly and even though he's the guy who brings it together, it's Jeff Keighley a little bit because of how he throws out awards. Like he just goes, and these are the nominees for the best adventure game, and this is your winner. Fuck a person coming up to speak about it or anything like that, say how proud they were of the team and doing all this. Like, this is the thing, they're never going to hit you can say, people can say the Forest stroke of fuck the Oscars. They're never going to be as pristine as the Oscars until he actually starts doing proper things with if you want to make adventure game a very pristine thing, best action adventure game, very pristine, let a person come up and actually grab that trophy and say thank you to the team, thank you to all of this and everything like that. And until he tries to make it a sports show when it's not,
Yeah.
and but he also still wants that to be pristine and as honorable as the DICE Awards or the BAFTA Awards for the games. Like when those two are around, they rip the Game Awards apart when it comes to because the developers are there and they're getting real good proper awards. This one's kind of like, for me, like we're going to a film, going kind to a film one. It's kind of like the Golden Globes. It's a fun time, but it's a nothing award basically when it comes to getting when you really want a good award or more pristine award, and he's not there yet because he, for me, throws out other awards so like that all the time because he wants to get to that next thing of showing he's the new world premiere. Fantastic, you show us world premieres. Fantastic that you show us the trailers. You've already got us. You got our attention because you're going to show us trailers, but we also want to see the people who develop these games.
And just picking this up, we can expect anything within the range of 40 to 50 games to feature at the show.
It's a Microsoft fucking conference.
many games.
No. It's just like, you know what? When I struggle when Nintendo, does half an hour on a dozen games to remember every game that is shown, and that is just games. They might announce, randomly, because it's bloody Nintendo, the Mario movie cast and befuddle everyone with Chris Pratt getting cast in everything. But that's exactly Nintendo but Nintendo, no, that's not the place for that. The place for a Nintendo Direct is to give us Nintendo Direct. Put WarioWare Get It Together, a Metroid Dread and Mario Party Superstars into my veins, and then let Variety write about the Mario movie casting. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like separate it and cut it down to, you know what? The Oscars can do this too, to like halve the runtime or whatever. Just like make it make it 10 awards, and you announce 5 games, and then you have like adverts, sprinkled in, commercials sprinkled in throughout, and then you've got a really probably tight like hour to maybe even 90-minute show where you can actually like look at the behind the scenes of how they, this year, especially this past 2 years, how this team made this game in the pandemic. Like SNL did like some behind the scenes stuff I saw on YouTube recently, Saturday Night Live, about how they coped and found it difficult to work through this. It's like, tell us those stories. Get No Clip in, get Danny O'Dwyer in to actually like to interview these developers and give them the spotlight they deserve. And that's my 2 cents on it. Otherwise, I'll start getting mad at Jeff Keighley, and I do like the guy. He's quite affable.
I think
That's
we
the thing
rolled
about
out
it,
Jeff
yeah,
in a stream not that long ago, didn't we?
Yeah, he's like, I think for both, like I think I speak for myself. He's like Mike. Like he pushes games such an amazing way. Like he's got his own award ceremony, which does highlight a lot of games. There's no doubt about it. But then he does the stupid shift. Like I'll say this right now, Jeff Kelly. If I see Kojima there, I'm going to turn over. I'm going to stop because I'm sick of you wetting yourself over Kojima. Yes, he's a legend of the industry, but just kiss him, fuck off to a room already. Already.
I have never finished a video game made by Hideo Kojima. I know who he is. He's Quentin Tarantino. You know what I mean? Like he's that iconic for video games. That's not going away, even if we never get another Metal Gear Solid, or we never get Death Stranding 2 or whatever. I think that it's that there is, because and that's the problem, isn't it? You get the big names get bigger, and the names that people don't know get shifted to the side. It's a shame, and I couldn't agree more with you there, David. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, definitely. Like the thing about like the big names get bigger and the other names get shifted to one side is gonna be pertinent to what I think of the question that I put in the show notes, because the Game Awards Twitter account was like, "Hey, we're gonna have 6 Game of the Year nominees. What do you think they'll be?" So I thought I'm gonna steal that and I'm gonna ask that on the podcast. What do we think? Not what we want, because what I want would be very different, because I have way better taste in games than game journalists. But what do we think the 6 Game of the Year nominees will be at the Game Awards?
You go, Joe.
Okay, I what I'll do is I'm going to say 1, because I will probably speak about this at a bit more length later. Because I primarily I neglect PlayStation and Xbox. I don't have a PS5 or a Series X. Obviously, a lot of them are backwards compatible. But I kind of like Nintendo, if you couldn't tell. Metroid Dread is a Game of the Year contender. It is not my personal Game of the Year, but I completed Metroid Dread, and I have a great affinity for the franchise. Hence, Samus Amiibo. You can't really see it, but my collector's edition of Samus Returns sits behind there. I bought a 3DS for that game, and it's only been played once, basically, because of that game. I cried. I shed a single tear finishing that game and completing that story on a plane at like 6 a.m, and it was seminal, and I didn't think they would be able to pull it off. And I think that if it doesn't if it doesn't get nominated at the Game Awards, then Keighley and any journalists who've contributed to the voting are asleep at the wheel. But I think it'll get there. I think it's a pretty safe bet.
I agree. I've got that written down on mine as well.
Pretty much sleep at the wheel anyway.
I mean, they are asleep at the wheel. That doesn't
change anything when it comes
no. To be fair, when you when you have a role to play, and you do it every day for your day job, sometimes unfortunately you do get complacent. But people haven't been sleeping on Metroid Dread, which is great. So shall we then go to? You mentioned you got your list, Amy. What's your next one on the list?
Deathloop, because I think that made a big impact on when it came out. Everybody was talking about it, and everybody enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it. Me and Moody talked about it at length on a video, and I think that's a shoo-in for a nomination. Just because
I have not played it. It's on my Steam wish list, and if it ever when it comes to Xbox, hopefully, it'll be Game Pass because it's Arcane.
Game Pass, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I am definitely going to get involved because I love the aesthetic. It stands out in that regard from I think other Arcane games. And even though actually it's been a year for time loop games and mechanics that use that, it's weird. It was like time became a flat circle in 2020, and game developers were just like, yeah, we're gonna just roll with it. I think it made a distinctive impression at a time in one of those sort of like, it felt like it was a bit of a dry period for releases. So I hope it doesn't get forgotten, but actually, because it's a big exclusive for PlayStation 5, even though the PC version was a bit ropey at launch, I think that's a shoo-in for sure.
And then it's owned by Xbox.
The best moment of my life was seeing that Xbox Game Studios logo on my PlayStation 5.
I only had that though because obviously they did years ago when like Mass Effect 3 came out, they did finally the trilogy.
The
and
first game was an Xbox.
Went to PlayStation, so finally came out. It was really funny that.
I'm gonna have that when when I finally manage to find a really cheap copy. Like it might get discounted because it's not getting the best reviews in terms of a port. When I get the GTA trilogy on Switch, and it's just like you just hear that that Vice City music come in, and Tommy Vercetti saying the F word and effing and blinding. It's like I'm playing this with a Waluigi controller.
Love that controller. Go on,
it's great. Yeah, so, go on.
What we got? What did you say?
We've said Metroid Dread and Deathloop so far.
Okay. Let's bring in back Xbox. I think Forza Horizon 5 will get nominated. It's the highest rated game of the year. I think it's a shoo-in. I think it's arguably a shoo-in to probably win the bugger because of it.
Fair enough. I actually don't have that.
I have a list. I have 6 already written down. If you want me to go whack off my list.
I would say go for it, and then we can bounce off it because I confession.
So the list I have is Forza Horizon 5, Deathloop I had on, Metroid Dread I had on. I think you'll get the Ratchet and Clank for getting an actual PlayStation exclusive on there. And I think you'll get the one and only indie game, Death Store.
Oh, interesting. I hope so.
And then that'll get nominated for Best Indie Game, and it'll win Best Indie Game.
Because
it won't win Game of the Year.
Yeah. So
go on.
I didn't put Death Store in because I don't have any faith left in the people who vote for these things. I put It Takes Two though, because I think that was another one that made a big positive impact. Everybody was talking about when it came out.
I think that has high possibility because it has that double A studio, triple A production value to it. It's Joseph Fares, and I know nepotism has no place in the game industry. There's definitely none of it ever at play, especially not at the Game Awards. I think
not at the Game Awards.
I think with that connection, I could certainly see It Takes Two going in. My indie game pick would be, and just because it's caught my eye, and actually I'm going to hopefully start playing it this week, would actually be The Artful Escape.
That's on my list. Yeah,
I think that's a sleeper, and I think people are actually just getting around to it because you know what. And we're on the eve of so many huge releases, and we've already had a few, but it's like, a lot of people are maybe not buying Call of Duty this year for good reasons. I hope it's still going to make billions, of course it is. But that's important, I think. And also we're talking about games that are actually going to get nominated within the release window. Artful Escape fits that, despite the fact that it's been on Game Pass for a while, and but now it's like, oh yeah, people are like, oh, what is this weird little journey, 2D vibrant psychedelic trip of an adventure. That's what's got me excited to play it. As a creative person, as someone who makes things, I'm really ready for that. So I hope that gets some recognition.
Did I say my whole 6 games?
I think you missed one.
Yeah, my final one is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay.
I think that's getting a lot of love right now, and I think because it's getting that a lot.
I think it's getting that surprise as well.
Yeah, a lot of people are very surprised that is as good as what a lot of people are thinking it is and everything. So I haven't played it yet. Like I'll be playing it like after Christmas and everything.
I mean, the reception to it has bumped it up from I'm not going to play this to I might play this.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've already moved the needle on myself. For the rest of my games, sorry, did you have more to say about Guardians?
I was gonna say for It Takes Two. I understand It Takes Two. If that does go, it'll probably knock Death's Door Guardians out on my list.
You can only have one. I know it's an EA game, but you can only have one indie game.
I know. No, they don't have to have any indie game because they have an indie game award. But
they always have one.
Yeah, they do. It Takes Two is there's no doubt about it. Gameplay wise, it's fantastic. Gameplay wise, it changes up every single level, and it's a masterpiece when it comes to that alone. That I can say this for me and Amy personally, the story did not work. There was a problem in that story that is fundamentally flawed and wrong, and I would like to speak to Faros about that fucker, because that is just evil in that bugger.
Yeah, there was a moment, and it was on stream. I don't think the VOD exists anymore, thankfully, but there was a moment.
Yeah,
I wasn't throwing any shade at Death's Door either. It's one of my top 5 games of 2021 easily, but yeah,
indie games do get dropped out a lot.
They get dropped out a lot. I think my top 5, I think 4 of them at the moment are indie games. So
I think the reason why I think another indie game, not necessarily the Artful Escape, the reason why I think Death's Door might get overlooked is just because it's closest to Hades out of, even though actually they don't have that much in common at core, but as that isometric viewpoint. That kind of, they both have roguelike elements, right?
No.
Death's Door doesn't.
Death's Door doesn't have
Death's Door was more of a Metroidvania.
Yeah, it was a Metroid.
Exactly. But the problem is that I think even me as a layman looking at these two games, it's just but then again, maybe actually I'm really getting into the mind of the game journalist.
Don't do that, Jesus.
We are also forgetting one thing. They always like to throw in a surprise, at least from the East as well. So there's a high. I will not be surprised if you see maybe Monster Hunter Rise hop in there. It's a high-rated game. It was a very loved and very recommended. Both you and me really enjoyed it, Amy. Overall, we haven't gone back to it any time lately, but they always like to throw in that Eastern game from the East and all like that. So I would also not be surprised if we see something from that maybe.
Yeah, because Shin Megami Tensei 5, I think, has just missed the release window, if I'm right. So it wouldn't be that. And there's me, times a flat circle, full on forgetting that I loved Monster Hunter Rise. I pre-ordered it. I got the little Palamute key rings with it that I still have on my keys.
I got the controller, baby.
Oh, that's fire! Oh, damn! I don't.
Was it this key ring? Yeah.
Yeah. I got the cat. No, it's not the calico. It's the cat. It's a cat and a dog. It's a cat and a dog. Yeah. Exactly. The cat's the bunny. Bunny Dango song of the year. I'm sorry. Step aside, Silk Sonic. Step aside. whatever other popular music you had. Fluffy Bunny Dango. That's going to win Music of the Year at the Game Awards. Soundtrack of the Year. To be fair, Monster Hunter Rise has, this is the thing. Like, Guardian of the Galaxy is a cheat for, like, if it wins Best Music, because it's just a jukebox game, you know? Like, it's just, that's telling yourselves lies. Or at least, it's an easy one. That's a very easy give, isn't it?
Like, there's even Tales of Arise. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, like, if there
my
was,
God.
if I was saying, like, if they were filling a quarter of, like, Japanese or Eastern games, I would be like, Tales of Arise is right there.
That is, I know people, Frankfurter, I'm talking to you, who, like, just binge played that. Yeah,
Amy, right here. She loved that game.
There you go, Amy. There you go. I'm glad you loved it.
Me? We're pointing at me.
There you go.
I don't know where I am on the spectrum. I don't know if you're above me or down below me, or just on how.
It's always, like, the doobly doo in YouTube used to be up here, and then it's down there, and then it's there, and who knows?
Yeah, I love Tales of Arise.
A 45-minute review on youtube.com/wordsaboutgaming.uk.
Awesome.
So the rest of my list, I had Ratchet and Clank. Because
another game I forgot. Ratchet and Clank. I forgot that you existed.
Well,
I also forgot. Go on.
If I look at the list of games that I've drawn up for Game of the Year at the Game Awards, I've played all but one of them, and I don't think any of them are in my top 10.
Oh yeah, I think honorable mentions would go out to the likes of always the Bridesmaid, Never the Bride, the Resident Evil January release or February release. Like, people really liked Village, and to be fair, it has.
Excuse me, Mommy. Sorry, Mommy.
No, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. That is one of, I think, aside from probably PT, which I didn't get to ever experience personally, I think that is one of the most unsettling video game levels. House Birincello or whatever it is.
I can't remember.
Bienvenuto has something like that. Butchering the Italian of it all.
Sorry,
but in
Italy.
But in vague wherever it's set, Eastern Europe or whatever it is. Seriously, that second section after the castle, the main, of Resident Evil Village. I've not even finished that game because I'm bad at finishing games that aren't Nintendo. I'm going to, because I have hopes that will probably be dashed that the rest of the game is half as good as that one house and level. It was, and it didn't even really stick the landing in terms of the combat at the end, but I did not care because that has empty child, or whatever it is, Doctor Who energy.
Who needs combat when you're peeing your pants?
Yeah. Because they do the Metroid thing. They do the Metroidvania thing. They take all your powers away from you, and they really make you feel vulnerable and scared, even though you're not actually being actively attacked by anything yet.
Yeah. So what do we think? What do you think about Returnal?
I was going to say I have two more games on my list.
Yeah.
And Returnal is one of them. And
okay.
We spoke at length about Returnal, Moody. You know my feelings on Returnal. I'd say it, a dozen times. I'm done with this. It's fucking bullshit. And then 3 hours later, I'm playing
I'm
it
back.
Like
you in Deathloop as well.
Deathloop was a special circumstance.
Like a downtrodden games journalist, you always come crawling back for more.
There was nothing else out at the time, so I'd put Returnal down and I'd be like, "Well, fuck that! It's fuck that bullshit." And then I'd look around and go, "Shit, I don't have anything else to play." Well, I guess I'll just try Returnal again.
And she did.
And I did.
She tried.
There you go.
There's a chance, especially just because people think more highly of it than Amy does. I think they would just do it to piss her off.
I liked Returnal. I'm just saying. I didn't love it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I think there's a chance. But I think because I think Ratchet and Clank is probably a lot more easy for the people to play and everything like that. I think Ratchet and Clank probably knocks it ahead. I think we're going to get one PlayStation and one Xbox on here, but with a Nintendo on there as well. Go on.
My last game, Psychonauts 2.
I was going to say, yeah, Psychonauts 2. I think because Forza's out, I think Psychonauts going to be completely forgotten about.
I think, unfortunately, it is because although it was a long-awaited sequel to a cult classic game that people who were excited about loved, it's the same reason that No More Heroes 3 is not going to get nominated at the Game Awards, probably for anything, because actually this is far more than 6 games each, pretty much, right? Like, we just discussed a whole length and breadth of games, a lot of which I forgot. I mean, I'm getting old, memory's bad, this is a thing, but also
All right, everything down.
but it's actually, I think, because of the pandemonium that we had last year, a lot of games got pushed, and also it just gave developers, I think, probably because publishers and manufacturers for consoles needed games. It was like, you know what, they probably greenlit more and obviously a lot of these were in the works for a while. You know, Psychonauts 2 was on the cutting, in development hell for a long time. But it's like, actually, to get it going and get it out was an achievement in and of itself, I think. And it's great that at least it got its day in the sun. I just don't think the Game Awards is going to give it. I'm right there. I don't know if you can drive a steamroller in Forza Horizon 5, but I think in terms of an Xbox nom, that's going to, just sort of unfortunately dominate the conversation. But it seems like it's the best Forza game to come out, from what I'm hearing. So,
well, me and Moody are. We'll find out if you can drive a steamroller on Twitch on Thursday. Hey.
Yes.
Before we move on, I've written down mine and Moody's lists, so we'll revisit this when they announce the nominations, and we'll see who was right and who was wrong.
Good shout. And then you can say, oh, wait, Metroid Dread is here. The Nintendo Stan is not just hot air.
I kind of need to get Metroid played because
I need to play
Pokemon's
that.
coming out this week, and I'm like, I got to get my Pokemon on me.
Oh, no, but you can put a pause. You can put a pin in a remake of a Pokemon game, and what you can do is you can play a sequel that we've waited nearly 2 decades for. I please give Metroid. No, I know.
Bulbasaur says no. Bulbasaur says no.
I mean, I say that I'm so far in the weeds on Lost Judgment. I'm just trying to finish it so I can play other games.
the Emmy
Tale of Arise moment again. Yeah. I need to get this game.
I need to get this game finished.
Tune in next time, whether it's on Twitch or on podcast services, to find out if the Emmy has stalked and taken out Dafford Moody for his insolence.
I've got that far. Okay. That thing took me out twice. I don't like it.
Isabel is gonna just go for peace here, between the two.
As well, though.
Is it Isabel's? Yeah, let's bring it back together.
She's got little bells. I don't know if you can hear them.
Yeah. Before we move on, I'll throw out a couple of more just because on OpenCritic, because of I'm just going off the reviews here and everything like that. So, highest ones, Overboard.
No,
I don't think. As much as I love that game, I thought it was a great game. I won't lie.
Indie game nod. I think Overboard has a good chance for sure. Yeah. Or art direction for sure. That game oozes personality.
And one final one, Chicory.
I wanted to so badly, but I just feel like
if that game didn't come out, I think that'll be the one.
I feel like it's a game that has a few really vocal people who will be shouting about it, but I don't know if that's going to carry into a Game Awards nomination. It's the same with the Forgotten City. I fucking love that game, but so few people seem to have played it.
I've got a new Xbox coming. It's going to be played. Don't worry.
It's on Game Pass. On Game Pass right now.
I know.
Well, also, I think it speaks to the quality of new. Well, I know a lot of these from studios that have made games before, obviously, but non-IP indie games as well as the big guns this year, which is the fact that they're even in the conversation, even if it's just being had by a couple people who really love those games. that's brilliant in my mind. I'm because I didn't know that chicory was a thing, but I'm glad that it's been enjoyed by the one person who played it. Sorry, that's shade. That's unnecessary shade. I'm the ignorant one.
It's fine. We haven't even mentioned my personal game of the year because no one's heard of it.
Well, to be fair, my personal game of the year is No More Heroes 3, and people have heard of No More Heroes 3, but they've mostly heard about how bad the open world is on Switch. But they spoiler at the end, and I didn't cry because I was too damn hype to feel anything else. It's just bonkers. It's like, it's so much fun. No More Heroes 3. If you want a wild ride, play No More Heroes 3.
Well, it's fine because if I get annoyed enough at the Game Awards nominations and game journalists in general, I'm just gonna throw a tantrum and call Among Us Game of the Year again.
I'm just gonna say this right now because those reveals are going to be coming out soon. We're going to find out who's going to be nominated soon.
We will.
So I say this, Amy. Well, why don't we get Mr. Joe Medforce back on for that episode?
I would love to talk about the Game Awards if you'd be happy to have me. And also, because I ended up talking over you there, Amy, what is your personal game of the year? Was it one of the ones you talked about already?
No, it's called Wildermyth or Wildermyth. I'm not sure which. It's on PC. It's brilliant. But nobody's heard of it.
Oh.
Moody's bought it and he hasn't even played it.
I have. I've played it 45 minutes.
Oh, wow. 45 whole minutes. It's not one of those kind of games, Moody.
That a character-driven, procedurally generated tactical RPG. I really wish that was up my alley, but I'm glad you love it, Amy.
It's okay.
I'm happy for you.
It's not for everybody.
I'd be very surprised if it doesn't come to Switch.
Oh no, that has a Switch game all over it. It's going to get a full-priced Switch port next year, and the text will be too small to read probably, and that won't be the fault of the developers. That's just the way it goes sometimes.
That's just Switch ports. Should we?
So everything on Switch except games which are better to play on big screens.
Should we
Let's crack on
with the news?
Let's go.
No, it's fine. Like every podcast, it feels like for the last 6 months has been a garbage fire for the first hour because of the news. It's nice to just cut loose and talk about games.
And the good thing is that I can say the next few stories, apart from maybe the last couple of them, I won't have a lot to say on. So that means we're gonna actually get out of here before midnight.
That's right. I don't mind making this the longest podcast ever.
Go on.
Don't tempt me. I can already see Moody's sending me messages. Please don't do it.
It's all good. It's all good. We'll run through it. What's the next news story, please, Amy and or David?
PS5 supply issues continue while PC game sales spike in Japan. This is from Kenneth Shepard over at Fanbyte, who writes, by all accounts, the PlayStation 5 is doing well for itself. As of September, Sony has sold over 13 million units, but the PS5 is starting to fall behind the PS4 due to supply shortages making it impossible to manufacture the console at the same rate. This has resulted in Sony altering its projected PS5 manufactured this fiscal year, dropping from 16 million to around 15 million. Not unlike the Switch, the PlayStation 5 is about to become even harder to track down, and it's had an interesting side effect on some players' gaming habits. Some people are looking to buy games on PC where they would have previously bought them on a console. And then, it's just a paragraph about short supply chains, which we already know about. I'm so glad I have a PS5 right now.
That's true as well. This is what happens when all technology relies on one country to build the same fucking chip that they're all using, especially when there's a pandemic going on. So when everyone's having it. Like, I'm pretty sure the next story is or the one after that. Or have you deleted that one?
No, the next story is basically the same story. In fact, let's just merge them. The next story is the same thing about the Steam Deck that got delayed. The Steam Deck. Valve has announced that the Steam Deck handheld gaming device will be delayed. It was initially expected to begin shipping in December, but because of global supply chain issues, units won't actually begin rolling out until February 2022. And it's the same stuff about global supply chain problems. And the reservation dates have all been pushed back by 2 months.
Remember, like we said earlier, Mr. Monopoly, the Monopoly man, doesn't have a monocle because monopolies are bad. Make the market competitive so that someone else can step up and say, oh yeah, I've got these chips, and while this other company or country has to deal with issues that we've all had to unfortunately deal with, then people can continue to be employed, and people can be thriving instead of just surviving barely, and that's not about chip shortages. It's about people. And because unfortunately, like you're saying, Mr. Moody, you're 100% right. It is the reliance on a single source for a highly in-demand resource that the market cannot sustain when that pillar starts to shake, or in this case seems to crumble entirely until they can rebuild it.
Yeah, it doesn't help. Yeah, you may be able to get these from a cheap place, but doesn't mean you're gonna get as many as you want. Just create your own fucking chip, you lazy bastards. Come on, Microsoft, you're $1 trillion company. How hard can it honestly be?
Well, it's as much as proprietary. And obviously, like, everything these days is manufactured in a dozen different places, and it's all just put together and then packaged and sent to you by Jeffrey Bezos's dick rocket. Basically, you do that, but proprietary, if it's made by the producer of the product, is not actually necessarily bad, because then they can sell it at cost if they're good people. But people care too much about making that money, make that cheddar. Capitalist society we live in.
Okay, me.
Have you, Amy and David? Have you recovered? Shall we move on to the next news story?
10 out of 10.
Well, so what was just clarify for those who may have missed it while they had a spit take at home. What bit was it there?
Dick rocket.
Jeffrey Bezos.
I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm just gonna say it right now, Joe. If you ever want to come back on this podcast, you are more than welcome.
I am fine, and I will adhere to however many comments say, get the loud one to shut up, and I'll say, I'll look down on them and I'll whisper, no.
Good. Jeffrey Bezos' dick rocket just sealed the deal.
So to finish it up, like I am disappointed for people who were excited for the Steam Deck and everything like that, and to obviously try and get a PlayStation 5. But don't worry, guys, if you find a scalper, they might sell you one, but it'll be overpriced. But you'll get there eventually.
I know, right?
Or you can go to CEX, which is a terrible company in their own, and they'll sell you one which is overpriced as well, but they'll say they're hitting market value.
No, and hold on. Actually, wait. I've just realised I have the global supply chain solution when it comes to people not getting the Steam Deck. You guys,
Get a PC?
how about you prep the next story, and I'll just bring that prop in, and I'll be right back. It'll just be it'll be a grab and go.
Hold on, sure. Do you want me to just read the next?
Get onto Discord.
I can get on Discord. Yeah, no problem.
I'll be right back. But no pause needed.
No pause. No, it's fine. I'm looking forward to this.
Should we be right?
Probably. Discord CEO says no current plans for NFT integration. This is from Ed Nightingale over at Eurogamer, who writes, Discord CEO Jason Citron has confirmed that there are, quote, no current plans, end quote, for NFT and cryptocurrency integration. A tweet from Citron on 8th of November caused a stir when it appeared to tease NFT integration with a screenshot of a survey from earlier in the year. Citron has now responded to that tweet to clarify, quote, thanks for all the perspectives, everyone. We have no current plans to ship this internal concept. For now, we're focused on protecting users from spam, scams, and fraud. Web3 has lots of good, but also lots of problems we need to work through at our scale. More soon, end quote. Citrin originally responded to a tweet sharing an article that proposed Discord as a platform to launch NFT projects. The screenshot appeared to show the ability for users to link their account with cryptocurrency wallets. The tweet soon went viral, and many responses disappointed and threatening to cancel their Discord Nitro subscriptions. I think you'll find a lot of people did. A number of Discord staff also tweeted their frustration in the wake of Citrin's tweet. Quote, I hope leaders can humbly listen to the chorus of vehement moral disgust this teaser has already invited. This sincerely does not have to happen, end quote. While Citrin's latest tweet says there are no current plans, there's still the possibility that NFT and cryptocurrency integration could come in the future.
Of course they're coming. They're saying not now and now, but they're going to come.
They've said not now because everybody cancelled Discord Nitro and started tweeting at them, so they went, we'll just pause it, and then it won't be as big of a deal the next time we bring it up 6 months down the line, because everybody will have got the outrage out of their system. Because this is how this works. This is how this always works.
That's how the Force works. I want to see this prop.
I want to see this prop too. That's basically what I'm waiting for.
Yeah.
NFTs, bad news. We all know this, and we need to make sure we communicate this. Don't get an NFT for anyone this Christmas. Your Steam Deck's been delayed. You're not going to get it until next year. I'm sorry. And a year later, you still can't find a PlayStation 5. Think of your family and buy yourself a Nintendo Switch this Christmas. And download the Twitch app for free so you can watch Words About Games, twitch.tv/ and twitch.tv/Joe Medforce for every game of the year that he hasn't played yet.
Damn, that was smooth.
smooth like butter. But seriously, and this will be the last thing I ever promote, because no one will ever let me on anything again. If you actually have a Nintendo Switch and you download the Twitch app, you don't even have to sign in, and it's a novelty that you can do for Words About Games as well. You can watch anyone stream on Twitch on your Switch now. And it's surreal because if you're actually streaming on Twitch and you bring out your Switch, you get to see whatever you happen on a delay. And then it becomes like the eternal mirror. And it's a really fun thing to do. Even if you've just got a phone camera and you want to just whatever you're doing with your life. And I am doing #MedForce Twitch on Switch. So if you have a Nintendo Switch, please take a picture of maybe me, or just Words About Games, actually. Watch their streams, take a picture of it, and then use that hashtag, and I will retweet it and put it together and be like, hey, listen and watch Words About Games. Or just use hashtag Words About Games or Twitch on Switch. The branding is in the works. We'll figure it out later. We've got contracts to sign up, as we know, from the sidebars. But enough about that. It's a lot of fun.
Can I just compliment your Joy-Con controllers as a person who also owns those Joy-Con controllers?
I have too many Joy-Con, not because they get drift, because I have a problem.
We all have problems here, there's a lot.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have any problems. No problems. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Don't look. Don't look. If you're listening, don't look. Don't look.
Yeah, NFTs suck. We did the big NFT thing last week. Are you any? So you did somebody last week. You did the podcast with me, and then you watched. I'm guessing you watched James Stephanie Sterling's video because you linked it to me. Do you have any greater of an understanding of what an NFT is now?
NFT's bad.
I agree with the words of the immortal, iconic James Stephanie Sterling. I think that's a mini shout out because, the Jimquisition and the work that James Stephanie, they have just been continually making sure as best as they can that game companies' bullshit is held to account and Discord is right there in it with it. It's just like, yeah, just because you retract on this now doesn't mean you're not going to, yuck on everyone's yums later because you're trying to save face in the moment and then everyone just forgets, So, which is
companies, don't yuck on our yum. Just don't yuck on our yum.
And we'll keep eating because we like to eat video games.
I love to eat video games.
I like to, no. Don't eat Switch cartridges though; they taste bad.
Oh, they taste horrible. I've got the perfect segue now set up. Speaking of industry bullshit, see what I did there?
I like it.
Thanks. It's a team effort. It's always a team effort.
It is.
Activision Blizzard, because everybody loves hearing about them. Contractors granted better salary and PTO. This is from Marie DeLisandro over at GamesIndustry.biz. He writes, Activision Blizzard has agreed to better working conditions for its contractors. The announcement was shared on Twitter by a member of the AB Care Workers Alliance and includes a pay raise, paid time off, sick leave, and more. Quote, we've increased our minimum hourly rate for all temporary employees to $17 an hour, the message read. Our agency partners have agreed to match the sick pay time off that we offer to Blizzard temporary employees, increasing the number of accrued sick time to 9 days each year, end quote. All temporary workers will also now receive Thanksgiving and winter breaks as paid time off, and from January they will receive 13 paid holidays each year. 13 paid, I'm guessing that's holiday days each year. Well, they get 13 weeks off, in which case I need a new job. The announcement also said that the company will introduce a career growth and learning programs for contractors, with more to be announced about these at a later date. This follows a wave of online testimonies pointing to poor working conditions for contractors working at Activision Blizzard. The ABK Workers Alliance had posted a call inviting contractors to share their experience on Twitter. Quote, we have learned from contractors across ABK that they are being forced to take mandatory unpaid leave during the holidays, putting them in immediate financial and housing crisis. Displacing workers who help create the products that generate ABK's revenue is inhumane, end quote. It is. I agree. I'm going to cough, so does someone want to...
So, Activision...
Excuse me.
Again, the being the bit, like... Okay, so this is, again, minimalistic good, because they are improving certain things, which is, at the end of the day, should have already been simple to sort straight away. At the end of it, still, there's a lot of bullshit, as always, but I'll just say this right now. They're doing more than fucking Ubisoft. Because Ubisoft are doing nout. Zilch. Big fat noodle. So, it's still, there's still a lot of shit going on with the Activision. There's no doubt about this, but they are... I've spoken to like a couple who were like a part of like the Activision Blizzard the thing on Better Activision. Like they said, it's minimalistic, but it's also better. It's still something, and it's like they're doing something, even if it does. That's what we want to see happen, is that stuff are actually happening, and unlike Ubisoft and everything like that. So like, there's still a lot of work that needs doing in Activision Blizzard, but yeah, it is something. That's how it is for
it's
me.
Like,
go on.
Yeah, it's like we can go. This is good, but also there's more work to be done.
Yeah.
Always more work to be done, and I think that the temporary employees definitely need to be taken better care of, but so do all of your employees across the board, and that hasn't been happening at companies like Activision, Blizzard, and of course Ubisoft. You suck. And I don't mean that in a general term of like everyone who works there and works on games and puts their heart and soul into them is a bad person, because they're not. I feel extremely strongly about this. And I just think that they need to put up and shut up, because survivors need to be believed. And they need to be supported in that, because otherwise everyone is just going to move on to the next Far Cry, the next Call of Duty, as if none of this ever happened. And it's like, when this is too serious, this is a lot. And so maybe take a moment if you need it, take a deep breath. But like, a woman died, a woman killed herself because of the misogyny and the sexual predation happening at Activision Blizzard. That is absolutely unacceptable, and her memory needs to be done better by across the board from all these corporations who hold themselves in high enough esteem to pay themselves the big bonuses and then take a meager pay cut and act like they're freaking, Ebenezer Scrooge on the day where he wakes up and, helps save Tiny Tim. It's like, no, I'm not having it. And I want to see you do better, and I'm not putting a single penny towards any of that, anything you make, in the hopes that you will be better, because they only hurt in one place, and that's the wallet. And I know that's tough. I know that's difficult. I know people love to play games and love to play a lot of these big games that come out, but it's like, that game's coming out next year as well. That game's coming out the year after and the year after that. So I think you can wait because you've played them all your life. And I would wait on the next. I would wait if it turns out that working conditions to crunch to get Breath of the Wild 2 out for March of next year were a thing. If it comes out that Nintendo is doing this and abusing their employees in any regard, I am not going to buy and play that game. Breath of the Wild is my favorite game of all time. If I can do that, then you can skip Far Cry 6, and or at least just not, or at least do what you can to raise the right voices up rather than just being a sheep. All right, there we go. I'm good on that one, and I'll leave the floor for yourselves.
Plus, there's this amazing thing happening in the games industry that's been happening for the past sort of few years now, where it's like there are so many good games that you can skip ones, and there's like another half a dozen just waiting for you to be played. Like, I personally haven't played a Ubisoft game for, well, I don't even remember when the last one was.
I think it was Odyssey.
Odyssey might have been my last one. And I've had no shortage of games to play, like while skipping a bunch of games. And like,
precisely,
you can play these games. Like, you can play Far Cry, and you can do your Far Cry streams and your Call of Duty streams, etc., etc. But like, you can't just like leave the elephant in the room or sweep this stuff under the rug as well. Just, you can do both, and I know that means you might not get your sponsored deals from Ubisoft or whatever, but I mean, is it worth it? Is it worth it? I don't think it is. I used to get review copies of these games from Ubisoft. I don't anymore for some reason. Just like I used to get review copies from EA, and I don't anymore for some reason.
Everyone's playing them, and if everyone's playing them, then you can stand out by doing something different and telling people about Chicory or about Wildermyth. Lift up smaller voices, and then it gives a chance for those who've been suffering to be heard. And that's a very tortured analogy, but you know what we're saying.
It works, no doubt about it. Like what we've said all the time, me and Amy, like with like, you can support you can buy the games, you can play the games, it's not a problem whatsoever. It's just, you can still hold them account though. You can still call out the bullshit when you play the game. If you're streaming it or if you're reviewing it, literally say we we played this game, but we also need to acknowledge that these things are happening right now, and you need to be aware of this and everything. It hasn't changed my opinion of the game or whatsoever, but this is what is happening. You need to know that. Another thing is that's why me and Amy are mostly always getting vexed when we see these things and when we talk about it, because
Vexed is a good word.
it's like we're the only ones really out there who keep on talking, and we are nothing. We're a small podcast. We're nothing. We don't get thousands of views, thousands of listeners listening into us, screaming out what we're saying or anything like that. The only one who we hear about is like what we've already messaged them and said about them is James Stephanie Sterling. They're big enough to like they're getting at least some sort of reaction to like for people like listening to them or not, and that's the thing that's just so vexing. We know so many people, we watch listening to so many people, and they're all just like, yeah, it's all done and dusted, blah 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 type of thing, and it's not done and dusted. These people are still hurting. These people are still fighting tooth and nail just to get the basic human rights, basically, when it comes to these companies, because basically it just sounds like they just don't have any rights at all, and which is just disgusting.
Yeah.
Go on.
If you decide to go and watch the Jimquisition or anything that James Stephanie Sterling makes, and you feel what we're feeling and what they also are wording about these companies and this industry and industries at large, just make sure you share, because you share the links for Words About Games. You share the videos for because that's something you can do that doesn't cost you anything, even if you're still buying and playing these games. You help spread that message and that light in the darkness. It means a lot because algorithms suppress talk about these issues, and that's a fact.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the thing about it. That's what's the most annoying thing about it. There's so many great content creators out there that don't say a single thing at all, and they just keep on playing and playing and playing. And like, you can still play and enjoy the game. I want you to enjoy their games. Like Ubisoft, and Activision, I've said many occasions on this podcast over the last 10 weeks, they have an amazing heritage of some amazing games. It's can't argue. It's non-arguable against that. They've got the heritage out there for a reason, and like to see all this crap still just getting thrown under the rug is disgusting. But like we've already said, Activision, you're doing something. That's all we wanted at the end of the day, to show that you're actually doing something. There's still stuff to do. Bobby Kotick, you should not be in charge of this company. Your entire team needs to be gone.
And when you do what you can, whether it's saying something yourself, when you get your review copy, or when you play the game and talk about it with your mates, just tell them, comment on James Stephanie Sterling's videos, or tweet at James Stephanie Sterling, about the Jimquisition, and say that Words About Games sent you because and made you feel about these issues, if this is the first you're hearing about it, which might well be the case.
True. If this is the first you're hearing about it, wow, but it's a lot. Prepare yourself.
Better late than never, right?
Absolutely. So I have added this section back into the podcast, which is the better Ubisoft tweets. Mooney used to do the segue for this. Do you still remember it? We had to take a few weeks off because they stopped tweeting the things that we read out, and now they started again because of the petition that we talked about last week.
It has been over hundreds of days right now. We're over in the triple digits of this right now, that Ubisoft are still ignoring the employees, current and former employees, who are demanding real permanent change at their company. They are now basically completely ignoring them and still ignoring them. They have the simplest of demands out there, when I can find it. Like the support, they want to support Ubisoft. They want to just to have better work conditions for a lot of people. There it is. Key demands: stop promoting and moving the known offenders from studios to studio team to team with no repercussions. This circle needs to end. Number 2, we want a collective seat at the table to have a meaningful say in how Ubisoft as a company moves forward from here. 3, cross-industry collaboration to agree on a set of ground rules and processes that all studios can use to handle these offenses in the future. And finally, 4, this collaboration must heavily involve employees in non-management roles and union representation. This is the bare minimum. This is the bare minimum of something that should already be in place, and Ubisoft are completely ignoring it. Go, Amy.
So we have a section on this podcast. We had it for a while, and we're bringing it back. The Twitter account of Better Ubisoft that Mooney just described put out a petition last week, 2 weeks ago, one of the two, getting everybody, and it was open to the public, getting as many people as they could to sign the petition, so that they could show the support. Yes, we all signed it. We all signed it, yes.
Mm-hmm.
To show support for a Better Ubisoft and for all of those key demands that Moody has talked about that Ubisoft is ignoring. And the Better Ubisoft Twitter account has been posted some of the reasons why people have given them, why they've signed this petition. So in the interest of continuing the conversation and not ignoring it, we're going to read all of those from the last week. Number 1, I support a Better Ubisoft because workers are owed a safe working place and a say in their future when their work is the only reason the company continues to exist. Number 2, I support a Better Ubisoft because I cannot in good conscience play or support any Ubisoft game until these demands are met. Scroll down. Number 3, I support a Better Ubisoft because management need to realize we create the IPs, we make the games, we generate the record profits. Our labor pays their wages, it buys their houses, their cars, and their vacations. When we demand a seat at the table, they need to listen. Number 4, I support a Better Ubisoft because I want to once again be proud to work for this company. Continuing to promote known abusers and harassers into senior and VP positions undermines every step we take forward as a community. Zero tolerance must mean zero tolerance. Number whatever, I've lost count. I support a Better Ubisoft because we deserve a seat at the table where our future, our livelihoods, and our safety are being discussed by people who have done nothing to gain our trust. We've been denied this seat repeatedly while people are afraid to walk the halls of our studios and face the people who have abused them. Next up, I support a Better Ubisoft because management complain about, quote, groups trying to undermine our collective efforts, end quote, to change. But it's their refusal to include employee reps in the work of the Respect team that dangerously undermines faith in the misconduct investigations. Their we know what's best attitude is precisely what leads to abuse from superstar VPs being covered up. And lastly, I support a Better Ubisoft because in spite of how management try to spin it, employee surveys are not a seat at the table, especially surveys that are designed to control, manage, analyze, especially surveys that are designed, controlled, managed, analyzed, communicated, and acted on, or not, in any way that management see fit with no oversight. And that's everything we've got for this week, but I'm sure we're going to get more next week.
And
this is back.
And I will confirm, but I won't confirm which one. One of those is mine, because I said they can share it.
Yeah, I said mine. Mine could be shared as well. I don't think I said anything. I don't think I used any swear words, but I'm not sure.
I couldn't have said it better myself than those statements. So for once, I won't.
Yeah. I think the statements speak for themselves. I love it.
NPD time.
NPD time. We love talking about sales. It's great. We got the NPD breakdown for October 2021. The top 10 best-selling games of October 2021. At number 1, at number 2, Back 4 Blood. At number 3, Metroid Dread. At number 4, Madden NFL 21. At number 5, Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles. At number 6, FIFA 22. At number 7, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. At number 8, Mario Party Superstars. At number 9, NHL 22. And at number 10, NBA 2K 22. I don't know what happened there. I think I need to take a drink. It's just like clear my throat.
Congratulations to 9 of those games there. They've all deserving all their accolades and everything like that. But shout out to one that's getting completely smashed by the critics, but it's in the top 5. Demon Slayer, the Hinokami Chronicles. I should know that because I watched the bloody anime.
From out of nowhere, right?
yeah, like that, like top 5. That is amazing. It outdid Guardians of the Galaxy, who's getting nothing but love.
Because the Mugen train is rolling, and the Mugen train don't stop for nobody.
Right?
And I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong because I know that's a Demon Slayer movie that came out. Question mark. And this is a video game based on that same property.
Yeah. It also helps that they released basically the season 2 of the anime basically when this game came out, so it's like a good combination.
It's you know what? Late to the party with the Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy. The film came out in 2014. It's 2021. Nobody cares anymore. Demon Slayer. That's it. That's what the kids are playing.
Hell yeah.
Movie tie-in games used to be great. Spider-Man 2. You know what I'm saying? Let's not talk about the others.
My brain.
Shout out to Back 4 Blood. You're in Game Pass.
Number 2.
Yeah. You're number 2. But the game didn't work for me personally. Amy enjoyed it more than I did, but shout out to that.
I think that really does speak to that like hunger for that Left 4 Dead experience. Like I knew that game was going to be popular and stay popular among people who love those co-op shooter. Yeah, no, exactly. Like I have not gone back for blood, but I did have fun when I tried it out. I played the beta, and actually it and even though there was maybe a couple minor technical hiccups on PC, and my laptop is a gaming laptop, but it's not super high end. It seems like, especially through the best deal in gaming, Xbox Game Pass, best deal in entertainment, really, as Gary Whitta says. You can just you can get it. You can download it on PC or your Xbox Series X Master Chief Edition, right, Daffod?
Yes, I can.
But are you going to?
Halo Infinite doesn't come out until. Don't look at the if the dates to come out. When does Halo Infinite come out, Daffod?
November 7th.
The multiplayer may release earlier, but the game actually comes out in early December 8th, I think.
Did I say November?
You got it.
Because November 7th was 7 days ago, Daffy.
I said November.
That was a week ago, mate.
I meant to say
I don't.
You still got it wrong.
I don't.
Yeah, it's right.
I don't have a Mr. Chief, but imagine I'm putting that helmet on and then taking it off like he does at the end of the game, and it's just another helmet.
There's a Master Chief on the Xbox shelf somewhere out there.
I had like custom Lego figures made before, like the Mega Blocks or whatever came out. I had like a blue custom like Spartan, and my friend helped me like make a little elite with his energy sword.
That's amazing.
Exactly, yeah. Real gamers love Halo.
Real gamers.
Real gamers, TM, love Halo. They love clicking them heads and 360 no scoping.
360 no scoping is what it's all about. Yeah, on hang high or on midship.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're back for Blood Gulch, and Daffod is asleep at the wheel. Sorry, Daffod.
I feel like I'm really going into it here, like.
Wow,
I was starting to feel mean. Why don't you get us back on track?
So just before, because I have a feeling, Joe, you want to talk about another game that's on this list, I'm just going to read this note here that says, Metroid Dread achieved the highest launch month sales of any Metroid franchise released in tracked history. Launch month physical dollar sales of Metroid Dread nearly doubled those of the previous franchise best Metroid Prime.
In case you guys couldn't tell, I kind of like having things to hold up and point at and be silly about. I don't have a physical edition of Metroid Dread because I had to download it because I was flying the next day. And I was like, I can't miss this game if I pre-order it. You know what I mean? But people don't understand how insane that is. Like those numbers and the fact that it is still a month and a week later at the time of recording, still at number 3 in the top 10. I mean, I know it's a rolling total. It's probably slipped from now in terms of the actual November releases, but like it was released on October 8th alongside the Switch OLED model, and that is mental. It wasn't the new hardware. I mean, the new hardware helps. That's a new shiny game to go with new shiny console, but Switch just keeps selling games with it. The attach rates are insane, and it makes me very happy because, in case I didn't know, I like Nintendo. And also Mario Party Superstars. I know people were burned by Super Mario Party, the previous Switch
Super
installment, and the thing is, I liked it too, but this is more accessible. I mean, it's still not the most accessible game. It's a Nintendo game, but you can play this with any controller that connects to your Nintendo Switch, even the N64 controller they just released, because all you need is basically a joystick and an A button to play this game. If you can play it with a PlayStation controller if you want to. Plug in your DualSense and go freaking wild. And the online works near flawlessly for this, which is not something anyone could ever say about a Nintendo game that's come out ever. If anyone quits out of the game, it saves before the start of your previous turn. So if everyone disconnects, if the internet dies and Discord is down, whatever, because NFTs suck, then basically you can pick up where you left off, even if your console loses power, because it saves it in the online servers, which is great, because you know what? No game gets people flipping their Monopoly boards. We're bringing it back around like Mario Party. It's so much fun. I'm having so much fun with that.
You can be ready to kill when you play Mario Party.
So, yeah, I mean, I would hope that this gets a Game Awards nomination for Family Game of the Year or Multiplayer Game of the Year, however they're doing it now.
After Garen freaking T, it's going to be nothing but Nintendo games.
Yeah, 100%.
That actually happened that one time. You remember?
It was, yeah, exactly, because Nintendo for family.
Everything's for family. Everything we make is for the family.
Metroid Dread's going to be on it as well, just because it's a Nintendo game.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, Metroid Dread for the kids.
I'll disagree with one thing on that. For me, I'm not surprised that Metroid's that high at all, because Nintendo fans, when an exclusive comes out, they go for it and they support the crap out of that, and they've done a marvelous job. Like I said, what I've played so far, it's really a good game, and I'm hoping to say by the end of it, I'm saying this is fucking phenomenal. This is a game you need to be playing and everything. So I'm not surprised. I'm actually surprised that Nintendo Party got up there that high, because of the backlash and crapness towards the last one. And everyone said, like what you two just said yourselves, even though you guys enjoyed it, the game had a lot of backlash and people weren't enjoying it and everything.
Yeah.
So I was very surprised Mario Superstars actually got up there personally.
Once bitten, twice as shy is not the Nintendo fan motto.
That's true,
where did all these bite marks come from?
Exactly. Yeah. No, it's just there's just Metroid's a feasting on your eye. Just I love her.
Mario, thank you. While getting chowed on.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is this wasn't the case in the 3DS and Wii U era. Metroid Samus Returns did not do these numbers, and 3DS, it was not as big a console sold but the 3DS was mad popular, and it was released at the end of the life cycle, but and people were like, why isn't this game on Switch? You can factor all these things in, but it is just, I think, the sort of the thing I would just the asterisk I put on it is basically Nintendo first party games, like you're saying, Mr. Moody, get supported on Switch. That is the key, because Metroid Prime didn't sell, and again, GameCube was the weak my favorite console of that generation, but it was the weak link of its generation. Metroid Prime did not do these numbers, on, if you don't have the console numbers, it's not going to sell that many. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going around in circles. Yeah.
But the Wii U didn't sell very well in general, so the numbers were never going to be high for that. But I also understand where you're coming from.
But the 3DS did sell not as well as the DS, but it's there was a lot. But yeah, anyways, we can talk numbers all day long, can't we? We can go back and forth. I'm bad at maths, so
I'm the worst at maths. And I play D&D, and it's like it's a thing. It's like you have to add all these things up and do this, and my brain breaks down at some point. I'm just doing a couple of back end things here. Okay, where are we at? We are at Todd Howard says you can pick your pronouns in Starfield. This is from James Troughton over at The Gamer, who writes, everyone has pronouns, but not every game lets people use their own. We're seeing this change as representation betters, but it's a slow crawl up a steep hill. Forza Horizon 5, for instance, lets you choose between he, him, she, her, and they, them. Starfield will do something similar. Quote, I'm really excited about what the team has done with the character creation here, Todd Howard stated in a Reddit AMA. Including choosing background skills, etc., you can also pick your pronouns, he, she, they. We've recorded all the relevant dialogue to support that choice, end quote. The answer was in response to someone asking Howard if character creation will be as in-depth as the Elder Scrolls series. Based on his answer, it will be. When you've picked your pronouns, all characters from then on will use them. In previous Bethesda titles, be it Fallout or Skyrim, you could choose between man or woman, but that's it. Given that we can pick pronouns here, it's likely that gender will be far less constrictive.
This is good. Like, stop throwing things, type of craziness in there. Go for it. And all the whiny babies online, shut up. just shut up. Enough. Go in your corner and stay in it. And the top lip and bottom lip, put them together and keep them together. Like, this is great. This is fun. Yeah, this is great. Like it just shows the evolution of what's happening in our culture, and they're finally starting to bring it in here. And this is really, really good. Like, and can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah,
do it.
It's not massively difficult. Like in a game with character creators, because I know like some games don't have. You don't create your own character for some games, but it's not massively difficult to like do this. It is in a game, more so in a game like Starfield, which is an RPG and has hundreds of thousands of words of recorded dialogue that need to be done like 3 times over in this case.
I'm not in the business of telling people what they should think or feel, despite everything I've said prior to that statement. Don't be mad, be glad, because it doesn't impact you. It doesn't impact you personally, but it makes the game able to be experienced by basically everyone. And that means that more people are going to play the vaporware if it ever gets released, that is Starfield. Couldn't resist that little Todd Howard.
Just a little dig.
Just got to be done because he's Todd Howard. It's just fun. He's fun to poke.
They're just gonna make Skyrim again. It's fine.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna sell you Skyrim again, and it's gonna be playable on your Nokia 3310 when we have to go back to burner phones after the apocalypse.
Fact, there's a Monopoly Skyrim game.
I'm shocked.
Of course there is, because Todd Howard's all about that motherfucking money.
The thing is, if the fools out there who keep on buying this game, they're gonna keep on saying, this is it. They're obviously recouping enough to saying we can do it again.
I unearthed my Switch copy of Resident Evil 4, my Nintendo Wii copy of Resident Evil 4, my GameCube original Resident Evil 4 double disc set. I'm part of the problem.
Don't bring Resident Evil into this, otherwise then I'm part of the problem. I mean, yeah, we're all part of the problem, but Skyrim's anniversary edition's launch day made my Twitter timeline look like it was 2011 all over again.
You muted the words arrow to the knee.
Dover Keen mute. You know, I've only ever played Skyrim for about 2 hours. Yeah, I feel like I'm intimately familiar with every aspect of that game.
But speaking of inclusivity and languages, different languages that people will be encouraged to learn by a movie like The Eternals that just came out and features
I see that
representation
too on Monday.
of exactly, yeah, not a spoiler, but one of the characters speaks in sign language, I believe, and I think that's relevant to the next story.
He's even got the cool
Got
segues
the
down.
segues, man. I know. What the hell?
What's going
I think
on?
I need to retire and just leave him with you, Amy. And then he'll come back 6 months and say, "What did you fucking do to me, Moody?"
I'll stand in any time you want to record a 4-hour video game news show.
Every day.
Oh no, yeah, go on.
Forza Horizon 5 will add sign language support in a future update. This is from Molly Taylor over at PC Gamer, who writes, Playground Games is planning to introduce sign language support for cutscenes in Forza Horizon 5 alongside its arsenal of accessibility features. In an Xbox Newswire post, creative director Mike Brown said the team, quote, made it a priority to incorporate accessibility features throughout development, and then wrote, we want everyone in the world to be able to experience our game, and with more than an estimated 400 million gamers with disabilities across the globe, it's vital that all players be able to tailor their gameplay in a way that works best for them, end quote. Horizon 5 is already launching with a bundle of handy features like customizable subtitles, text-to-speech, colorblind filters, and an incredibly handy slider that lets you change the offline game speed, meaning people can tailor the speed of your car, NPC cars, and Mexican environment. Brown said the feature is, quote, great for newcomers and those who would like more time to progress through the game, end quote. You can also toggle moving backgrounds on or off and set how long notifications stay popped up. Brown says the team is, quote, constantly listening to the community to make Forza Horizon 5 an inclusive experience for everybody to enjoy, end quote, announcing that support for both American Sign Language and British Sign Language will be coming at a later date. It's still just a vague window of shortly after launch, but the team gave a quick demo of how the feature will work. During cutscenes, the interpreter should pop up picture-in-picture near the bottom of the screen. And then I wrote a note at the bottom that said the game also has 4.5 million players at launch and is the biggest launch for the series ever.
So I've just looked this up, so I'll do it in sign language. Awesome. That's apparently sign language. Can't hear you, Joe.
Hey,
I thought that was. I thought he was doing a bit.
No, I was saying, I was signing thank you, and I also forgot my mic was muted. So for those audio listeners, you need to check out the video version on, awesome. Words About Games YouTube.
Yeah, and congratulations, like I say, on 4.5 million players. Like I say, I'm so happy that this launch has been successful and everything for them. And Amy, I can't wait to play this on Thursday.
We are going to destroy this game on Thursday.
I might, depending on what time do you guys go live doing that?
So we start 7, and then I usually carry it on until about midnight. But if you want to play it, you can drop in anytime.
I would, yeah. I have counselling. Take care of yourself and your mental health as best you can. In these times. And it got cancelled last week because my counsellor was sick. So if it's on this week, I will still be there, probably a bit after 8:00. I'll mute myself, and then in my mind I'll be just going ding ding.
I'll be doing that.
I'm gonna just be pretending it's Mario Kart, and that I've got bananas I can throw out the back of my Mazda or whatever.
Perfect. It's perfect. No, I'm all about accessibility features on the podcast, on Twitter. I feel like I just carry a big stick around and I just get in fights with people about Dark Souls specifically. But this is awesome, and I love this, and I love all of the cool accessibility features that Forza Horizon 5 is bringing to the game. But I need to take a second, and this is my original idea. I saw this someone tweeted this on Twitter. That thing where, Moody, we've talked about this a lot, where it's like a Souls game or a From Software game. It's like, well, you could add an easy mode to it, and then there's always been that question of how would you add an easy mode to it? Forza Horizon 5 just solved it. Like the Playground games just solved it. You can turn the speed of the game down so that everything still happens at the same, like it's all the physics and stuff still happens at the same speed, but you just turn it down so you give yourself more reaction times. Boom, they solved it.
Yep. It's like we've been preaching it like crazy of late. Like games need to be focused on a lot more on accessibility. Like last year, we had 2 games that had peak accessibility in The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. I'm pretty sure there's other ones as well, but like those are the ones big standouts out there, especially The Last of Us Part 2. And like if they can do it, anybody can do it. So like when you've got games like Hades, who puts in a mode that makes it enjoyable to keep on playing the game because they can put in that like upgrade thing or easy thing, wasn't it? Or God thing, God mode. And then you've got I think it's with the bug game, the Xbox bug game.
Grounded.
No, the one that we talked about for maybe Game of the Year. Psychonauts 2. That has a God mode as well, where you can not die and just play the game and enjoy it. You know the thing that we talk about, enjoying a game, not getting stressed over how that you're dying because the game's pissing you off or something like that. Like, this is the thing about it. I'm hearing nothing right now of great things about fucking Elden Ring. That's possibly already the early game of the year for 2022. And I'm probably not going to play it because it's not going to have an easy mode in there for me just to go in and just slice things up like crazy. And that's the thing about it. That's the annoying thing about it.
It frustrates me, and I know we've moved the conversation away from Forza a little bit, but it frustrates me because obviously the discourse started again when the Elden Ring tech test started. And I fucking love Dark Souls. I love Bloodborne, Demon Souls. I love those games, but I hate them at the same time because I can't talk to anybody about them because nobody I know really plays them because of the pretty high level of difficulty in those games. And like they talk about the developers and the people who write about games, who write about this stuff and talk about, well, there might not be an easy mode in it, but you just have to do this thing, or like get this item, or spec your character with magic because magic in Dark Souls is easy mode, or like, oh, just play it in co-op with a friend. And it's just like, but what if it was just as simple as turning on an easy mode or turning on a setting in a menu? This is a solved problem.
Yeah.
And I'll still get my Elden Ring experience that I want for having played like Bloodborne and Dark Souls. And Moody can have an Elden Ring experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's tiring.
And that's, I will just say, I would have finished Dark Souls if the game wasn't so punishingly difficult. I got to the Fire Spider Lady. I played that game for nearly 30 days straight. I'm never going back. Not because it's a bad game, but because I'm not that great at video games, and that's okay. Just like with the Starfield pronouns that are going to be included for the character creation, a sign language update. Games should be for everyone.
Yes, they should.
It's pretty simple and cut and dry when it comes down to it. That's what I find.
Well, to bring it back full circle into the talking about the actual news story, it's like Mike Brown, creative director of Forza Horizon 5, literally says everybody in the world should be able to play our game.
Yep, indeed. So, but now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the bathroom break while I continue and talk about the games coming out this week. So, go if you need a bathroom break, but stay if you want to hear about the games. Sherlock Holmes Chapter 1, PC, PlayStation, Xbox. In this story-driven detective thriller, young Sherlock Holmes struggles to prove himself as he navigates an exotic, dangerous island in the Mediterranean to investigate the mysteries of his mother's death. Surviving the aftermath. PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Survive and thrive in a post-apocalyptic future. Resources are scarce, but opportunity calls. Build the ultimate disaster-proof colony. Protect your colonists and restore civilization to a devastated world. Last Stand, The Aftermath. PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. From the creators of Last Stand, Union City, and Dead Zone comes an all-new single-player roguelite action-adventure after you become infected by the zombies virus. You set out to explore the post-apocalyptic and find hope for your fellow survivors until you send them out to be eaten, because that's what I would do. You can still make a difference. Don't give up. Undungeoned PC and Xbox is a gorgeous action RPG driven by intense real-time combat and an immersive, rich science fiction story. Travel between dimensions and change the world if you would like to. We're throwing gasoline on it right now because the NFTs around you in an attempt to reconstruct the shattered multiverse.
It's the multiverse. It's getting everywhere.
It's getting everywhere. It really is. We need Doctor Strange to fix it. XO1, PC, Xbox, a strange signal, an alien craft, and an interplanetary gravity-defying journey through space and time. Fun fact, I'm actually researching this for one of my courses.
Gravity-defying journey?
Yeah, Gravity Rush, yes. It's Gravity Rush 3, Amy. They just called it XO1.
If that was true, I would literally drop everything to play this game.
Battlefield 2042, which I'm kind of guessing you don't realize there are reviews out, Amy. Battlefield 2042 is a first-person shooter that marks the return of the iconic all-out warfare of the franchise in a near-future world transformed by disorder, alphabet, and overcoming dramatic changes battleground with the help of your squad and a cutting-edge arsenal. Yes, Amy, they did the same thing as Forza Horizon 5 did. Allowed people to get it early if you buy it early. And finally, the game I'm guessing we're going to now pick a score for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Switch. Journey to the Sinnoh region in the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl. Adventures into Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. And for fucking hell, man, who wrote this quarter? Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. That's 3 times I've said that. What the hell?
Sorry, I'm confused. What's the game called again?
Shut up. Go to the Sinnoh region, rich in nature and with towering mountains at its heart. Sinnoh is the land of many myths passed down through the ages. You'll visit many different locations in the Sinnoh region while striving to become the champion of the Pokemon League in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl. I best say that for the 5th time in one freaking sentence.
So the games are called Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl. Yes, I got that. Yes,
Amy, yes, you got that. Yes.
My ears were burning. I think someone was talking about a Pokemon.
Pokemons. I got Pokemons behind me. No, wait, they're on the other side. I got Pokemons.
I put my Pikachu and Wooloo are in a drawer. They've been banished, relegated until Pokemon Legends Arceus comes out in January. I know that's not coming out this week, but I'm well excited about it. And it also, I think this game is going to be a fun opportunity for people to revisit this gen, to prepare themselves for traveling back in time to the Sinnoh region in Pokemon Legends Arceus, or Arceus, however you want to say it, when it comes out, I think towards the end of January next year. And it disappoints everyone because it's not quite going to be Pokemon Breath of the Wild. I can't wait.
I can't wait for that disco.
Sell millions. Just like Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl.
Oh, I know. Yeah, this is a holiday release, which is gonna keep Switches off of the shelves. Nintendo's gonna continue to kill it in its own way with a Pokemon title. It happened with Sword and Shield, even though people. I love Pokemon Shield. I had a lot of fun with its little twee British version of the Pokemon world. There was a teacup Pokemon. There was a Pokemon that was strawberries and cream. Yes. There was a Pokemon that had there was like a Corviknight, like a steel, like raven bird Pokemon, which is maybe one of the most metal fucking things I've ever seen. Not just because it was made of metal, it was just so cool.
It was anyways as fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm a Pokemon fan who holds on to nostalgia more than I should. I'm a Gen 1 basic bitch. But you know what? I'm always peaked when Pokemon's on the table.
Gen 1 to the win. Gen 1 to the win.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Amy. Amy wants to be.
Gen 1.
That's Gen 1. That is Gen 1.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
That's Gen 1, Amy.
Hold on. I think you know this little guy. Pikachu.
Yeah, he took he owes Bulbasaur a lot of money because Bulbasaur's the real star.
I was
like this
okay.
I like
the next cute. I like the next cutest.
Like Gen 6, I think.
Yeah, I know, but it's an evolution. They're all connected.
We're still waiting for a new evolution. It's really annoying.
I need to buy another plushie. Come on. What are you doing?
Well, there's many other forms that they haven't got. They haven't got a ground one, a rock one, a fighting one, or a dragon one, or a poison one, or a steel one.
I want Hitmon Eevee. Yeah, we had Hitmon Lee, we had Hitmon Chan. Now it's time Hitmon Eevee's turn in the ring. That was a really, really bad pun, but I was like, I don't know. That's the
works.
fighting type I know off the top of my head.
Works. Should we play OpenCritic head-to-head so to close out the podcast, really?
Let's go. I am not gonna know about how this goes down, so I'm gonna let you take the lead and maybe explain for a first timer like me exactly
you
how
can
it goes
judge
down.
Because I've had the same intro for it like forever. You can judge if the intro is actually good or not. As a person
no judgment here, just big ears to listen. Go.
It is time for OpenCritic head-to-head. This is the game we play every single week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of one upcoming game. Whoever guesses closest gets a point, unless you manage to guess the score correctly, and then you get 2 points. I'm loving the energy with the drumming. It's amazing.
It's a knife and fork.
It's a knife and fork. It's fine.
I'm having a quick bite to eat while this goes down. I will not chew into the microphone.
That's fine. I do it all the time on stream. Last week, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Bright Memory Infinite because all the other games already had reviews. I guessed it would get a 69. Moody guessed it would get an 88. And at the time of recording, Bright Memory Infinite has an OpenCritic average of 64. Which means I
nice. -5. That is, to be fair, I would say I don't know what Bright Memory Infinite is, but I think that's pretty good as it gets. That's well played, Amy.
I was taking it very seriously, as you can imagine. That puts the current scores at Amy 22, Moody 21, and there are 2 draws. It's getting close. So close, Moody. It's so close. And I really didn't want to have to do this. I wanted it to be Battlefield because I've played one Pokemon game in my entire life, and you're like a Pokemon expert. But this week, we're trying to guess the OpenCritic average of Pokemon, what Moody said like 10 times.
Pokemon Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond. The reason why you can mix and match those is because, fun fact, don't download pirated games. It's a bad look. If you want to buy a game, pay for it, please, so people get paid. The game leaked, and I'm not technologically intelligent in this way, but what I do know is it's really funny that they went into the code and for emulating the game or running it on Switch anyways, which is what they've managed to do with the leaked version of it, pre-launch. There's a flag in the game, in the code. If you change this flag, it changes to the other version of the game with no extra work required, which completely undermines the existence of 2 versions of Pokemon, which the franchise has been built on since its inception 25 years ago. That's a quarter century of marketing built into you and a mate have to both buy this bloody game. You have to buy the link cable. You have to both have Nintendo Switch Online and Pokemon Home or whatever to trade the Pokemon between your versions. And now the chickens are coming home to roost for Game Freak, and it's a shame because it's going to come out as like, oh my god, they don't spend enough time on the game. But it's like, actually, it's just like they were trying to make their lives easier, and now the hackers are going to have their fun and their way with it. Sometimes it comes back to bite you, or at least I imagine that's what it is, because I'm sure these days it's easier when you're going to be producing basically the same game, and with some names changed or Pokemon changed around, you're going to have a Nintendo Switch to flick inside the game, and then you get to make the changes as you go. Right? I'm not a game developer. I don't know what I'm on about. But my predicted score, is it out of 100 for OpenCritic?
It's what the OpenCritic average will be. So the average score that it gets.
I'm gonna hit it. Pokemon games tend to review better than they're received by the public. But even so, I think it might balance out. So I'm gonna say that, and this gen is fairly beloved by the people who do like it. So I'm gonna say that Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, or together, because it's basically the same game, will get a let's go with a 74. Actually, hold on. Can I say 77? Because I like the double numbers. I'm gonna go with that. That's me settled. I won't change my mind, and I stuffing my mouth full of burger, so I can't talk now. Go on,
Moody. What do you think the OpenCritic average of Pokemon's will be?
I won't lie. What Joe said was pretty spot on. Like, the critics normally are pretty favorable on the Pokemon games, and they're also, but the audience is always very mixed on it. Yet they're always one of the best-selling games every year because
they buy it because they like it when it hurts.
Yeah, they like it good. That's what they like. It hurts a lot, but it hurts good. Apparently,
the real fans, and they'd call themselves that, who are buying this game, who are at least now 30 years old, because that's how old I am, and exactly, we've been around since Pokemon began. It's like, if I had bought every Pokemon game that came out, mainline or remakes, I fell off around, I think it was like Ruby and Sapphire. I would be buying this game if money was no object. I'm not going to, because I don't need to put another game to the backlog I'm not going to play, and I'm gonna get the new
responsible
Pokemon game
gaming.
I
like it.
But I am gonna get the new old Pokemon game when that comes out in January. So again, part of the problem. Anyways, go on, Moody.
No, but I'm a mark when it comes to these. Like when a new one always comes out, I'm buying it or renting it, and I am playing it. So I can guarantee you, Amy, I'm probably streaming sometime next week. So I might need the stream key from you.
We'll coordinate schedules.
Yeah, definitely like that. But no, for me, this game, I'm going 84.
Oh, okay. 84.
I think it will rate in the 80s.
Okay.
If I recall correctly, and this shouldn't necessarily sway you one way or the other, because that was technically a new Pokemon game versus a remake, right? I think Sword and Shield got at least a 9 from IGN.
Yeah.
I believe it was a 9. Casey DeFreitas reviewed it and actually had some really good points to defend it against the people who were just like, the game looks like garbage. It should look better. We need Pokemon Breath of the Wild. It's like, actually, you know what? Cut them some slack. They're trying their best out here. Maybe they're not. I don't know. But it's
it's the thing when it comes to it. Like, if you see a game that looks like Breath of the Wild, and you don't see the rest of the Nintendo games looking like Breath of the Wild, they just get angry at it these days, and that's all it is. Like,
that's actually the truth. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah, if it's not matching, it's the same with games where it's like, any AAA game that comes out on PlayStation 5 or Xbox, it's like, well, we saw it with Cyberpunk, didn't we? Basically, I know the PS5 and its Series X versions came later for that, but that was, case in point. It's just like, why does this game fall apart when I nudge the mouse.
Yeah.
So,
It's made
but
of wet tissue paper. So for my guess,
legitimately. Go on, Amy.
Keanu Reeves punched you in your ribs and your ribs
we're not
collapsed.
talking about Cyberpunk here. This isn't a podcast that talks about Cyberpunk. For my guess,
Ooh.
I know nothing about Pokemon. I like Pokemon the creatures because they're really cute and they make good plushies and models. See, and I've played exactly one Pokemon game in my entire life.
Yeah. You played Sword and Shield.
I played Pokemon Sword.
You've played one Pokemon game. You have literally played them all.
I caught them all. I did it.
He
It's a
ain't
big
wrong.
brain play. Big brain play. So I'm guessing 88 because that's like
That's the
half the
average for a big
games
game, yeah.
get these days. Is it sensible? I don't know. I probably not, but I'm doing it anyway.
My slightly lower score than that is just because it's a remake. I think it maybe gets some points docked for that because
I think it's going to do better than the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, which currently has a 58.
it will. No, it most certainly will because it's been made from Switch from the ground up, no matter its flaws. And like you say, it looks cute, and people bloody love cute.
I mean, I can't. I've played one Pokemon game. I have more Pokemon in my house than I've played Pokemon games. These aren't the only Pokemon I own.
Like, I can't wait to smash it. Like, this game, I'll have this game completed by the end of the weekend. That's guaranteed. Like,
You know,
I
leave
will
me some
smash
space to
this game.
stream, right?
I won't stream it all. Maybe.
No, I want you to stream it all.
Okay, no. When you say completed, Daffod, you mean you'll have finished the main story?
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah, I was about to say. I want to.
Go on.
I want to see. I want to see that Pokédex certificate. Come on, let's make it a real game. No.
Just remember, Among Us Saturday 8:30.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
So
do it.
There's a time between then, like before 8:30, all the way to when I wake up. Will be boys 8 o'clock. I can play it all day.
go for it. But let's end the podcast right now with I'm assuming you're prepared with your usual positive affirmations for the week ahead, Moody.
Of course.
It's always prepared for this. You would think we do this every week.
I keep forgetting.
And I have to sit here and awkwardly cover for him while he looks it up.
Yes, you do. You really, really, really do. What again?
You know what we're talking about.
The weekend is over, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else. And a new week has begun. So remember, let's start with some glorious, positive energy. And remember, you are a rare gem, an exclusive, a limited edition. You are that Pokemon everyone wants to catch. There is only one of you. Have an amazing week. Be awesome to each other. Remember, you are awesome.
Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
And thank you.
You're welcome.